again. I am so happy to be with all of you today. And since this is the first time we're meeting in this year, I thought let's begin with a topic that is very near and dear to each one of us hearts, and it will benefit to understand what is the purpose of life. We often miss out on this. This should be our starting point. What is the purpose of life? Let me explain this to you before we start our yoga session today. That the purpose of our life is not to become the richest in the material stuff, but the purpose of our life is to become the richest in godly qualities. To become the richest in godly qualities. Because when we understand the purpose, then all of our desires, our thoughts that create our actions are aligned in the right direction towards the right destination. But when we don't know what is the purpose of life, then we are lost in this sea of materialistic world that can only give us stresses and strains and then failures. So once we know and understand that the purpose of life is to acquire godly qualities, to continue to grow in that inner wealth, inner beauty of purity, wisdom, strength, patience, acceptance, love, all of that should be continuously flowing through us. So when we know this is the purpose of our life, then we start thinking about positive thoughts towards everyone's well-being that generate only joy and bliss. So it is a saying, as you think, so you become. It's not as you do, so you become. As you think, so you become. So when our thoughts are channeled in the right direction, then all of our actions are driven by those thoughts, and then those actions take us towards the right destination, which is to become the richest person in the inner world. And life becomes beautiful. With the inner richness, outer richnesses follow us. They are at our feet. But we go the opposite. We try to start out by becoming rich in the outer world, and the inner is depleting every day. So, how do we achieve that inner richness? How do we become the wealthiest within? There are 4 things that help us to become the richest. First one is knowledge, higher wisdom. In Sanskrit, it's called Gyan. Second thing that helps us to become the richest, and when I say richest, I mean the happiest, most peaceful, and well-balanced. No matter what kind of challenges come in our life, but we always stay balanced. And with balanced mind, we only think right. We always make right choices. So, first thing is higher knowledge, Gyan, constant intake of higher knowledge, higher wisdom that brings clarity to our mind. Second thing that is very, very important, that takes us towards this destination, towards our goal, is yoga. And the third thing that helps us to become the wealthiest is implementation of higher knowledge and yoga. Practicing that on a daily basis. And the last thing that helps us is seva, service. Let's just try to understand this little better before we start our yogic stretches. So first thing is knowledge. I'm not talking about academic knowledge that we learn in universities. I'm talking about higher wisdom, yogic knowledge. Knowledge about yogic science that is written in our scriptures by Rishi Patanjali. So what that knowledge does when we are trying to gain knowledge on a regular basis, not once in a year, then that gives us the power of discrimination, the power to understand the difference between right and wrong, so that we only make right choices in life. Our failures come, disease come to us, pain comes to us, misery comes to us because one little mistake we did, and that drives it. And we always like to think that we are doing the best within our power. But if our knowledge is not expanding, then we think we are right. Everyone likes to think we are right. But based upon that limited knowledge, yes, we are right. But we are not successful. Why are we not feeling good inside? Why are we not successful outside? If all of that is happening, that means someplace something is not right. So, knowledge. That's why we start out this session by spending little time sharing that higher wisdom of yogic science to bring clarity in mind, to create interest in yoga. Because once we create interest in this, then doing becomes very easy. We don't have to resist, we don't have to force ourselves. It becomes very easy. Second very important thing that we must incorporate into our life is yoga practice. What does that do? When we do yoga connects us to our inner being, our self, the powerful self that we are born with, our Atman, our spirit. It's like a power ball that we are born with. It helps us to connect. And as soon as the connection is established, then what happens? Then we are empowered. We gain so much power, strength, confidence, purity, happiness, joy. Divine love starts to flow. We glow in that love. It's like so much love starts to flow through us, all around us, that we become like a fountain, constantly flowing with that love, divine love and well-being of others. We start to become unselfish to selfless. That's what yoga does. Brings back our laughter, some smiles, everlasting joy, never-ending joy. And the third thing is implementation. In Sanskrit, it's called dharana. And what that means is the knowledge that we are gaining and the yoga that we are learning. We start to practice that every day. We start to not just lip it, but live it. We start living that yogic way of life. Dharana. And as we start to listen to this, it's very deep. It's simple but very deep. When we start to practice the knowledge and yoga in our daily life, then we start to create new psychic impressions in our mind, new sanskaras are created, and we start to operate out of those new psychic impressions. Old karmic debts, old karmas, old sanskaras are burned with that yoga sadhana. And as the new sanskaras are created, new psychic impressions in the mind are created, new way of living, a better way of living, a happier way of living starts to take place. That's why so many of you who have been coming to this session for many years have noticed that your lives have changed. The world is still the same, the pains are still there, miseries are still there, challenges are still there, but I'm not being hurt. I don't feel it. And the last thing that we need to understand is service, seva. So when we have these three things in our life, which is yoga, knowledge, implementation, then in our heart, the urge to serve starts to happen. Because remember, when we serve others with all the knowledge that we gain, with all the wisdom, the clarity that we gain, with all the happiness we fill ourselves with, all these gunas, all these skills, all these qualities, when we start to serve the world, then what we give to the world starts to come back to us. That's why in yogic science, it's a saying that whatever you want in life, just make sure, is that what you are giving? Because whatever you are giving, that's what you'll receive, but you'll receive it 1,000 times more than what you are giving. See, an ordinary person who does not have yogic knowledge is focusing on what am I receiving from others. And whatever I receive, my giving is based upon what I am receiving. So if I receive anger, I give anger. If I am receiving negativity, then my behavior is going to be negative to certain people. And if I am getting happiness from someone, then only I will give happiness. But I forget whatever I am giving is what's coming back. So our starting point is wrong. Let's correct it. Focus on what are we giving, what's coming out of me, from me to others. If I focus more on what am I giving to others, you can be so assured that your present moment is protected and your future success, future happiness is ensured, because you are constantly giving happiness, joy, peace to others. Seva. So with all these four things, when we bring internal purification, with internal purification, old way of living is suppressed and it starts to fade away. New way of living, the new operating system, the new computer system starts to drive your life in the right direction. Instantly you feel, oh my God, I'm becoming happier. I'm becoming so balanced. People are looking at me and giving me positive compliments that I'm so much more joyful. That I'm not reacting, but I'm accepting of every situation. It starts to happen instantly. So, last thing. What do? We try to compare ourselves on an outer level. Most of the times that drives our life. That, oh, so and so has a better position than I do. So and so has a better house than I do. So and so has a better car. That's what drives the motivation to keep moving up. But yogic science teaches us that how about comparing ourselves on a much better level? Am I more purer than him? Am I more happier than her? What about peace? Am I more peaceful than him? Do I have more mental balance than him? Because when we start comparing ourselves on these inner qualities, godly qualities, that's when our inner becomes very pure, very strong, very confident. We develop wonderful personality. And the outer successes is a result of what's in here. So there are two types of qualities. The natural qualities of our soul that we are born with. Because when we are born, we are very pure. Take a look at the baby. So pure, so innocent. Everybody loves babies. Why? Because of their purity. They're so pure, they're so innocent. Everyone wants to hold them. No one would ever want to hurt a baby. Why? Because baby is so pure. Baby is always smiling with others' smiles and crying with others' cry. Because baby wants to share the pain and the happiness. So pure. But slowly as baby starts to grow, baby starts to acquire the qualities of the world. Those are acquired qualities. And what are those? Greed, pain, anger, frustration, stress. These are called acquired qualities. These are not our original qualities. So when we start to move away from our original qualities that we are born with and become very close, become one with acquired qualities, that's when we start to lose our physical health, mental health and other riches in the outer world. But when we do yogic breathing, pranayama, meditation, we gain constant knowledge, we do sadhana, then what happens? We start to go back to our natural qualities of our Atman, our spirit, our self. And as we become one with them, that's when we start to feel more blissful. That's when we start to move towards the destination, towards the real purpose of life, which is to become the richest in godly qualities. That is the purpose. We remember everything, but we forget this. And when we forget this, that's when the downfall, the downward spiral starts. So, the purpose of doing yoga here as a group is to continue to purify us, to continue to understand what am I heading towards. So that at the end of the life, when I take my last exhale, I have no regret. I am happy that I lived my life, I lived it fully. And I loved it. I loved every moment. No regrets. So, with this deeper understanding about the purpose of life, with this higher wisdom, we are going to start today's session. So, let's go ahead and stand.